And hello again, and today we're having a look at something called the C4 Pro from Mackie. Now it's a device that has been around for almost 20 years. It's no longer sold. It's a great device, very expensive in its day. I think it went for around about £1,000, and that's nearly 20 years ago. And even today on the second-hand market, if you can find one, they go for, I've seen them going for around about £1,000. Once you've tried one and once you've got one set up, I think it's something you'll probably realise why. It is quite unique, and I would definitely encourage manufacturers to look at this as an example and maybe see what they can do in 2024, especially Mackie. Anyway, going into blabber mode, I've downloaded the files from the Mackie Web Site. They're still up there. They have an area for, I don't know if it's unsupported or no longer current devices, and that's where I found it. So there is software for the Mac, there is software for Windows. I'm running the latest version of Windows, seems to work just fine, so nice bit of coding back in the day. Let's just see if we can make that a little bit bigger. Okay, now it has two modes, edit mode and run mode. Let's go into edit mode. Let's just close that. No, I'll leave that in the background. So we're looking at layouts. Now layouts, to my mind, might be individual songs, or it might be an album, but basically it's a setup of the C4 as you want it for whatever you're doing at the time. If your tracks are all based around the same instruments and same effects and the same plugins, then you probably have a standard layout. If you've used different plugins for different tracks, then you probably want to pick out the ones that you might want to change as you're listening to it, as you're composing it perhaps, or at whatever stage really, particularly in mixdown, I would guess. So the way it works is you can grab individual parameters. So I can take a Cool Game 1 filter cutoff, pop it up there, and you'll see straight away it's reflected over on the C4 itself. Let's pick out some more. Envelope attack, envelope decay. So you can do it this way, picking out any group of parameters from any instrument that you set up, or indeed you can just say, well, I want them all, because it may be that you've created an XML file with just the ones that you want, in which case you drag the whole lot over there and it spreads them out. And the Core Game 1, I just have 8, or there are 8 presets. I don't know why that is. The Core Game 1 has a lot of different parameters, but these are probably the ones that are the main ones that you're likely to want to tweak. So let's fill up the rest of them, and I've got the Oberheim OB12 there. So if I take that over to here and let go, you've then got them all spread, all the parameters spread across the rest of the controls. So it's a quick way of showing you how this thing works, really, I guess. So what I would do then is I would save that as a configuration, and then I'll go into run mode. And when I'm in run mode, I can take either this, you think of it as a plugin really, it's very plugin stylized. I don't know whether plugins were around 20 years ago. If not, then this was a forerunner. It works like a plugin. You can take the parameters here and you can change them with your mouse, and you'll see that reflected on the C4 as well. And you can do the opposite as well, which I will show you in a second. Now, when I did this video before, I reached over with my right arm and you could just see my arm all over the screen. So I'm going to try and do it left-handed, just to show you it works both ways. See my finger there, and you hopefully see the parameter changing value as well. And you can reset that back to be the name of the parameter. There we go, oscillator 2. I haven't quite sussed out what I do to do that, but clearly I need to look at that. Let's change some more. Let's pick one up here. OB12 decay. And let's see if we can get the value back. Oh yeah, I think it's just actually taking it down to 0. gives you the parameter back. I'm not sure what's happening with this one. That's interesting. It seems to be possibly it's a button or switch rather than a 0 to 99 parameter. This is the M11. I can take that up to 99, I guess. 51, 71. Let's take it all away. Oh, I just let go of it just before I got there. 99. Okay. And if I take it back, I get the name again. So incredibly useful. I certainly would find it incredibly useful. You can probably see down the bottom of the display here, there are other buttons which you can use at runtime, so you don't have to be using your mouse to do anything effectively. You can do it all on the controller. What else can I tell you? Oh yeah, perhaps show you the full list of instruments. I don't think I did that when I was in here. If we go across to instruments, these are the ones that come with it. And they're fairly dated because obviously they probably go back 15 or 20 years or so. I recognise quite a few of them. Some of them I didn't recognise. There's a whole load of great innovation synthesizers there. They're still in demand today, Nova and Supernova. They, on the second-hand market, they afford quite a premium. You've got quite a few Roland ones, I think, which I have. Got a D50, I've got a Jupiter 8000, and I've got a Juno 106 and a JX8P. Yeah, they don't get as much use nowadays as they probably should. Time is always the enemy, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, I almost went into waffling mode now. The reason I was going into those instruments is because I wanted to show you, before we finish up, what the configuration files look like. So these are the same instruments you just saw. There's the Korg M1. Let's have a look inside that file. And I'm going to open it with Visual Studio Code, simply because I know it's XML and Visual Studio Code is quite good at showing XML. Colours it all in as appropriately. And you can probably tell straight away, it's not a large file. There were 8 parameters. These were the names of the parameters, and you can probably see them across the top. Envelope attack time, envelope decay time. So if you're not happy with the abbreviation that the C4 does, you can put your own in here, and if it's less than 8 characters, that's what you'll see on the display, because it can get quite messy when you have more than 8. And although you have 2 lines for each of your 32 VPOTs, the first line is always going to be the name of the instrument, and the second line, which is only 8 characters, I think it's 8 characters. So I should have checked. 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 7 characters. Is fairly limiting, but no more limiting than with the standard for Mackie, which is the MCU controllers. It's very rare that you'll get to have more than 7 or 8 characters to play with when you're looking at parameters. So the idea would be you just edit this file, save it, rerun the whole thing, and you'll get that reflected from that moment on. If you want to add another parameter, you'd simply add another parameter down the bottom here with this setting. So if I take that, oops, let's make sure we do it from the beginning. Hit Control C. I've missed the bottom parameter mask. Let's do it again. Control C, and then I would put it in down here. Control V, and then I'd name that whatever I want to name it, S19 or whatever, and then I'd save that file once I finish editing it, and that parameter would then be available to me on the C4. And because this is so useful, I know quite a few DAWs nowadays do have third-party support for the C4, usually free, done by enthusiasts. I meant to check before I did this video. I'm pretty sure that Cubase is quite well supported. Traction, Logic, I think, but I'll leave that up to you to look into if you're interested. Okay, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you today. I hope that's been useful and interesting. If you've enjoyed it, then give the video a like. If you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe. And if you want to know when I publish my next video, then hit the notification bell. Thanks very much for your time. Bye bye.